Jingle bells, Batman smelt, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away.
Hey guys!
We're back in another episode of Geek Culture Talk, and it's officially our 10th episode, and also the Christmas special episode.
Woo! Festive!
With the Christmas special intro I made.
Yes! Did you like it?
Hopefully, because I almost lost it.
You did. Oh, you gave me a heart attack when you talked about that.
Yeah, I mentioned in the vlog. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, not here.
So it's our 10th episode, technically. I mean, if you look at the playlist, there's other episodes, but like this is the official 10th episode.
Just let us have this.
Like, there's like stuff like... I don't know, what's over... Like, there's tangent episodes we did. There was
True.
There was like my one maybe at the top of the Clone Wars retcons and errors.
Yeah.
So like there's like bonus things. Like this is the official 10th episode.
This is like the main Geek Culture Talks.
Yeah. And so of course we're doing a Christmas special today. We were meant to film this a while ago.
Yes.
Actually, no, a week later. But then like there's a lockdown gonna be happening soon again.
So we gotta get this done quickly.
Yeah. So we're talking about Christmas-related specials of geek-related things. Like mostly, it's not much about like any of the traditional ones, like no Grinch or Home Alones or Rise of the Guardians.
None of the classics like Rudolph or Rise of the Guardians.
or the Madagascar Christmas DVD.
Yes, a true classic.
Unless he has any, if you want to talk about them.
Nah, I just, I have, traditional, the geeky ones, the ones we're all here for.
Shrek.
Yes.
If no one can see Spider-Man's Christmas sweater, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a Christmas sweater.
Aww.
And Darth Vader's got candy cane for no reason.
Yes, and Baby Groot is in his pot.
Yes. And then there's the Grinch.
That terrible, terrible movie starring...
Which one?
Benedict Cumberbatch. Which one?
I like that one more than Jim Carrey's.
I actually like Jim Carrey's more. Like, ironically.
How ironically?
Like, haha, this is so bad I can't help but laugh.
Alright.
Yeah, that one.
I hate how muted the colors are in that film, though.
Yeah, they got really muddy almost.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Seuss and Christmas. How do you make that look muted?
Exactly. They're supposed to be the most colorful things you can imagine, and yet...
When did DC put their finger on that movie?
What is this? Zack Schneider's The Grinch? I want that.
Alright, so that's enough of that now, I guess.
Let's get to the real hard-hitting stuff, shall we?
Alright, so who wants to begin here? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Yes, I do. Well, have we said, we've talked about what we're talking about. Geek-related Christmas material,
Yeah,
right?
so anything like DC, Marvel, or Star Wars and whatnot, so anything like that. Of course, we won't be talking about Star Wars because the holiday special is atrocious. There's a new Lego one, which I've not watched yet.
I've seen clips of it. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, I'm still scared to watch it because they've already tainted the words Christmas with it.
Yes, they have.
All I've seen is an image of, Lego 3 Obi-Wans.
Yeah! Hello there!
I'm like, so this is going to be probably a big meme then.
Yeah, it is. It's very self-aware.
The trailer already has Palpatine complaining that Kylo Ren, put your shit on.
Ben Swallow.
No, but yes, enough of that.
Yes. Now let's get to the list, shall we?
Right.
For my first, it's not really it's not a cartoon or a movie. Rather, it's a comic.
Oh.
It's IDW's Transformers Holiday Special.
You may have talked about this.
Yes, I told you about this, and I absolutely love this comic just because how absolutely ridiculous it is.
Do you own it?
I unfortunately do not. Thank you for calling me out, Brendan, in front of all your subscribers.
Well, someone had to do it.
Someone had to do it. Anyway, the entire premise is basically Starscream, who at the time is in charge of Cybertron. Very long story. If you're interested, go look it up. And it's all written in rhyme, like a Dr. Seuss book. So everything's rhyming, and it's very How the Grinch Stole Christmas themed.
Right.
The entire premise basically revolves around Starscream feeling like he's not worshipped enough as supreme leader of Cybertron. So he comes up with a holiday.
Who would have thought Starscream would feel unappreciated?
Yeah, who would have thought
in his lifetime?
Who would have thought Starscream would feel emotionally unstable?
But I'm the ruler, I need friends!
Shut up, Starscream. Anyway, he basically comes up with Cybertron's equivalent of Christmas, where you go to someone you love, show them you appreciate them with gifts and, kind words. Him thinking, of course, people love me, so they're gonna give me gifts. Nobody gives him a single gift. So he's just sitting there in his throne room, just like a big frown.
So is this like post the war?
It is post the war. So Megatron he's out of there. He's kind of changed sides. Galvatron took over, because in this they're two different characters.
Right.
I think this kind of takes place after a whole Unicron kind of series.
Okay.
Anyway, at the end of it, a bunch of Autobots come in and throw Starscream a big old party. Because it's thinking, hey, Starscream, you came up with such a fun idea that we're going to hold on for the rest of our lives. You're a real swell guy. So they throw him a party, they got drinks, they're carrying on his shoulders. And I forget what the last line is, but it made me laugh so much. It went something like, and Starscream promised to never try to kill them again. Today. It was very heartwarming.
I've heard that kind of line in other Christmas-related things.
Oh, have you?
Not that exact thing, but like the joke of that.
Similar, like, I'll never do it again for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Just is that the whole thing?
That's about it. It was a very short thing. It was very cute, but I thought I'd mention it.
I might as well mention this one quickly. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I have another Transformer one, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. It's from Transformers Animated.
Oh, really?
I won't go into too much detail about it. I'm trying to show them the show currently, so I won't spoil it.
I still haven't seen it all.
Yeah, so essentially there's a Christmas episode around the 3rd season, and at some point, of course, the Autobots are celebrating with Starry and stuff. They drink oil as eggnog.
Hell yeah.
For circumstance, I won't say how it is resolved in the end, but they get put into human bodies. They wake up one morning, now they're all humans.
Okay.
So now they're kind of stuck as humans and trying to figure out how to function as these bodies. So it's funny because they're starting to sound like, oh, Ratchet, my stomach doesn't feel weird. I think the humans call that a hunger thing or something like that.
That's good.
And like Optimus breaks his leg and like they're much. I don't know how to fix that now. Like.
I don't know how to repair that thing. What?
Yeah, and of course you have Prowl, who's like the ninja bot of them, so he's like kind of enjoying it, like he gets like have
He
fun.
gets to experience it. Wow, that's...
Yeah, the cute moment where he's like they're in a diner and like there's a little kid, he's like does that peekaboo thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do the human designs look like their robot designs, or are they completely different?
Similar.
Okay.
I mean, Prowl just looks like that motorcycle like hologram he has.
Oh yeah, that one with the mustache.
Yeah, but they all look like human version of what they would look like.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, I won't go into too much of our deal. Basically, then Sorry now has to assemble her B team of Autobots to save the city right now because they can't. So
Okay.
her B team consists of Snarl or Slag, the Dinobots. What's his name? What was his name again? I think it was Scrapper, the Constructicon.
Really, a Constructicon?
Yeah, they come. I forget when they show up in the show.
Interesting.
And also Wreck-Gar by the great Weird Al Yankovic.
The Wreck-Gar, hell yeah.
So I won't go too much into that one because without spoiling the plot lines of it.
I want to watch it right now.
we'll get to it at some point.
Nice.
But that's essentially it. That's all I had to talk about.
Sounds really nice. I enjoy that.
Yes, but that was mine, so it's not really that much. I'll get into my actual one I have now.
All right.
So my first one I have here is Batman the Animated Series, the episode known as Christmas with the Joker.
Really?
Which was in the intro.
Yes,
Joker bit.
I was about to mention that.
Yeah, the weird thing about this episode is that technically, I forgot to look this part up, I'll put it in the video, but this episode's technically the second episode of the series. Because in production, because the show was made in a certain production order, but they weren't released in the production order. So technically there's like another way to watch the show in like a chronological order or not, which doesn't matter. It's not like Clone Wars. It doesn't matter
it's not
which way
like
you watch it.
yeah.
But so technically this is the second episode of the whole series, which is very weird when you really look at it, because that's how it listed on the DVD. So if you were to watch it like on the DVD, it'd be like you go from this very like much more darker episode with Man Bat, then it jumps to this Christmas episode. There's also Robin out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Robin in their show, they didn't want to, they wanted to use Robin, but not entirely. So they said, well, he's off on college, so he comes back every now and then.
College. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so this episode is technically episode 2 of the whole series, or I'll just put in what episode it is on air date. Essentially, for this episode, the Joker breaks out of Arkham Asylum, and he hosts a little Christmas special on TV, which is called Christmas with the Joker. And in the episode, he's kidnapped Commissioner Gordon, Harvey Bullock, and some other random girl.
Oh, no.
And basically, it's a game show. He basically pulls a very cliche thing on Batman, saying, I personally think families are boss. You can have them, if you can find them by midnight.
Okay.
So very cliche, like, of course he puts that in midnight.
Yeah, of course.
What's not at midnight?
Yeah, it's always midnight.
So then Batman and Robin are kind of forced to run around the city, like, trying to find them and stuff, and he causes all sorts of mayhem, like blowing up a bridge, and, like, the laser from a gyroscope. What am I talking about? No, from a laser...
From an orbital,
No, there's... At one point I think they found his base, but it's a telescope observatory. I'm forgetting that word.
Oh, okay.
So they think it's there. Yeah, but it's a giant laser cannon, so they get attacked, so...
Oh, nice.
It's definitely a bunch of shenanigans that happens. It's basically Joker's hosting a TV special while they're trying to find him and stuff.
Joker's really going all out in the second episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, it's not one of the more, shows more deeper episodes. Like, there are definitely some more deeper Joker storylines, more intense. But, like, this one's a super fun one that you can't just not laugh at.
Yeah,
Kind of enjoyable.
yeah.
I mean, like, it's Joker being a maniac. So
How can you not laugh at the Joker?
Yeah, so, like, he's very silly. There's, like, one part's... A lot of times they will cut between him on his show. So, at one point, he's got a little hand puppet where he's talking like this, and he's like, "Ooh, I just love blowing up bridges." Or another one, he puts his, like, a suit on top of his head, like a small suit, and, like, flips the camera upside down so his head's... So he has his smiles on a frown, and he draws 2 dots on his chin as a face. And he's like, "Where's that Batman? And that Batman? Oh, I'm gonna scream."
What? Dude, Joker's insane. I love it.
Yeah, it's probably a fun episode. Not too much really with it. There's 2 lines I found funny but also dumb from Batman.
Oh yeah.
So early on, because Robin thinks that maybe Joker just broke out to celebrate the holidays in his own weird way. Which, of course, what else would he think he's celebrating the holidays with?
Yeah, exactly. With some armed hostages.
Yeah, so he's like, "Alright, I'll make you the deal, Bruce. We go out on patrol, and if there's no sign of the Joker, we come back here, have Christmas dinner, and watch It's a Wonderful Life."
Aww.
And Batman's like, I've never seen that movie. I can never get past the title. But then there's another line near the end of the episode where they finally get the Joker's actual hideout. And then these guys come out with AKs and start shooting at them. And Batman's like, "Snipers." I'm like, "They're not snipers, Batman. They're literally AKs. Like, what are you talking about?"
Batman. I know you don't use guns, but you kind of have to know the difference between them.
And there's like a little funny line where Batman uses like this bat to like attack these like toy planes that are coming at them.
Yeah.
And Robin's like, "They don't call you Batman for nothing." And I'm like, "Right."
Boo. Do they end up watching It's a Wonderful Life or no?
Yeah, at the end of the episode there. Because like Joker took over all the broadcast stations, and like at some point at the end of the episode, they're like, Alfred's like, "It was nice for Commissioner Gordon to give you that recording of Wonderful Life."
Aww.
Robin's like, "Hey, and it is a wonderful life," and Batman's like, "It has its moments." And then the episode ends with Joker in a straitjacket just going, "And on beyond the days of the Pharaoh." Like, or however that song goes.
That's the episode where he sings,
Yeah, it's Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin Lays an Egg.
Yeah, that's the
Nice.
opening of it, which I forgot to look it up too, so my bad. I think that's the first time that was ever sung, possibly, which would make sense, I guess.
I remember I looked up like where did it come from, and I think it did say that it was in like the original original series.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a second verse of that song that's famously never sung because it doesn't really make sense out of context of the episode.
Really?
Because in the episode, Joker was like putting the star on the Christmas tree in Arkham, but it was a secretly a rocket, so when he gets on top of it, he blasts out Arkham. So there's a second verse to where it goes him crashing through the roof in one horse open tree, busting out I go, laughing all the way.
Oh, Joker never changed.
I did a version of that one time also on my channel years ago. I'll put a link to the video of it. It's like a terrible Christmas special I did one time. It is though.
It wasn't terrible. Good. It was good because you made it.
Yeah, it was rushed. It wasn't. I literally uploaded about it being finished. So I literally said I couldn't finish it. So here it is. So you'll have to find it, but I included that verse in my own other verse. I can't remember what it is.
That's a far cry from the modern day where you'll hold something back until it's finished, like the Christmas special you've been working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one's a new one. It's not,
Yeah, new one.
Yeah, like there was that one Christmas skit from last year.
Yes, the Grinch, wasn't it?
No, it was the Christmas robbery.
Oh yes, that one. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Nice.
But yeah, that's it for that Batman-related one. It's a fun time.
Sounds fun. I'd like to see it one day.
All right. What's your next one?
My next one is it's a bit of a weirder choice, but I always tend to go back to this episode from the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Actually, that was my second one.
It really was it.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're so in sync. We can both talk about it then. It's such
saves time then on both of us, because then we have the same one.
Exactly. It's just such a good episode. The Sinister Six is back.
It's not even that heavily Christmas themed, but like it's just a fun little Christmas kind of adventure.
It takes place on Christmas, but it's still so funny.
Yeah, it's season 2, episode 3 called Reinforcement.
Yes. I had it on my phone. I was about to look up the name of it.
Yeah.
It's so good. The lines are so witty.
Yeah. So the plot on this episode was that the Sinister Six are being reformed now. It's coming up after the events of like Spider-Man trying to hunt down these machines that Mysterio stole in the previous episode.
Yes.
But of course, Sinister Six has now been reformed by the Master Planner, who was Dr. Octopus in disguise.
Master Planner.
And so it consists of Vulture, Electro, Sandman, Rhino, and Mysterio, and Kraven.
Yep, Kraven.
Yeah, so, and it just actually is a big episode that seems like 2 members each come attack each other at once at Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's mostly what it is, but it's a fun little episode.
It really is. It really shows off Spider-Man at his best, being quippy, enjoying it while he's at risk of dying.
In the burnt tongue.
I burnt my tongue. What? I burnt my... Forget it.
It was like, Electro's like, show yourself, you wall crawling. Now, watch the mouth. That's Tiffin. What?
Oh, it was so
Doesn't
good.
another time of Vulture, but I just don't even know what he says still there. And I tried putting the subtitles on, but my DVD wouldn't put them on.
Really?
So this is my best understanding of what he said. He said, Beaky? Is there a revolving door on Supervillains this morning? Which in translation, I think he said, Beaky, is there a revolving door on Supervillains this morning?
Oh, that makes sense. Like
It doesn't exactly sound like that, but that's my best guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you're just as confused as the Vulture, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's also that really great one where it's like the Rhino and Sandman back at it again. It's like, hey, it's just like old times, ain't it, Huff? Except we're the ones squashing the bug.
I love that one part where he's like saying, come on, Ryan, you beast enough to come and get me? Oh, I'll show you who's beast enough. Jumps on the frozen lake, and here, you're gonna need this extinguisher. He's like, oh, I hate you so much.
I hate you so much.
Which is how, like, you're killing this man. He can't swim back up. He's a 200-pound dude.
You drowned this guy.
Like, I don't even know how they got him back up afterwards.
How did you hold your breath for that long, dude?
Like, literally, he died. Almost would have certainly died.
And for some reason, I love this line for absolutely no reason. It's where Spider-Man gets hit by the Rhino. He's like, did anybody get the number on that sleigh? Yeah. And the Sandman comes like, hey, you hear that? He said sleigh instead of truck.
He's like, too bad I'm more like a tank.
It was so funny. I don't know
that
why.
also confused, because I'm like, isn't the expression number that train? Isn't that the expression that aiming the number of that train, not a truck?
I always heard it as truck. I never heard train before.
I thought it was train for some reason, so that confused me. I'm like, I thought it was train.
Yeah, Sandman, what the heck, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, he is a criminal. It's not too smart.
Yeah.
All in all, just a really good episode.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah, and set a few other things down. Like
Yes, it did.
It also put a cameo appearance from Carnage in it. Not sure if you remember that.
I completely forget now.
In the part when Electro and Dr. Octopus were in that, like, not asylum, but that institute for, like, mentally ill people.
Yes, I remember now.
Yeah, when it cuts, it says, the doctor says, that's interesting news, Cletus, but then you cut and you see a redhead there and there.
There we go.
So,
if
like,
only the show went on.
Yeah, like, I mean, one of the producers of the show did say nothing in that show happened by accident, everything was meant for something later. Which, like, there's some people theorizing it might happen again because the producer, like, he retweets some tweets saying, I always love this show, and he just retweeted with a smiley face, like a smirky one, like... Which I'm like...
Don't give me hope, Brendan. Don't give me hope.
I looked into it, there's not much people reporting on it, so I'm like, I don't know, but, like... At this point, nothing's impossible these days.
True.
I mean, the Clone Wars came back, Young Justice came back.
Yep.
Animaniacs came back.
Bada boom.
Tiny Toons are coming back also.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, most
Jeez
things.
Louise.
They're making a sequel to Keanu Reeves' Constantine.
They are? Really?
Yeah, apparently. Like, when the stars said they're making it out. Excuse me.
Hey, man.
Anything's possible at this point.
People call Hollywood unoriginal, but if it continues shows that got canceled, I'm all for it.
Yeah. That's about it for that episode.
Yeah, it's
not
about
much
it.
else to talk about.
Just a really good episode, and watch Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah. Alright, so my next one, so I can skip down Spider-Man because we both talked about it. So this one is from The Simpsons.
Hey.
The episode's called Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
So there are a bunch of Christmas episodes of The Simpsons. Like the first episode of the whole series was a Christmas episode.
It was.
I don't particularly look at it as like one of the best episodes. It's fine.
It was their first episode. They were still trying to find their footing.
This one's not really any Christmas themes to it. It's mostly just a winter theme episode. Mm-hmm. But it's a fun episode. It's included on this little package DVD. I think it says on here. I don't know. I think it was a season 4 episode.
Okay.
This shows it was during the golden era of their run.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, Homer, he was driving home one day from Moe's bar, and he accidentally crashes his car and breaks it. And it's funny, when he gets out of the car, he see the crash. He's like, well, at least I got him as good as he got me. Then he realized he crashed into Marge's car. I was just looking at him, and I was looking at him like, he's like, don't!
Oh my god.
So then he's forced to buy a new car. He ends up buying a plow, which he's kind of tricked into buying by this guy just doing a whip sound like whoosh, whoosh. so he buys a plow and Marge is like, oh, we can't afford this. He's like, hey, trust me, it'll be fine.
That's a good Marge impression, by the way.
My Marge impression is almost just basically a higher pitched Doofenshmirtz impression.
You know what? It kind of is. You're really good at that voice.
Doctor, dude, stop strangling my son. But he's being a nuisance. What do you mean I can't stop strangling him? All right, fine. I'm just telling you, I'm making a nader soon one day to kill him.
I'll call it the Bartonator.
Yeah, but anyways, so he buys a plow and basically becomes a town hero because he starts plowing all the streets and fixing them up.
Really?
And he's dubbed Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
And stuff. And basically, what was I about to say? At some point, his friend Barney feels jealous because I want to be special. Then at some point, he buys his own plow and becomes the Plow King, which is twice the size of his.
The Plow King.
So then it becomes he becomes jealous of him, I had something great, and then he just took it from me. And stuff, and then maybe at one point he tricks Barney by calling him saying, hey, I got a job for you up in this very dangerous hill. I don't know, I'll be up there all day. He's I'll pay you $5,000. Alright, I'm there. Which then he gets caught in an avalanche, so Homer's like, this is my fault, I gotta save him. So he does.
Oh my god, Barney.
Yeah, and he goes and saves him, and basically the episode ends, they reconcile, from now on, we'll be partners. Yes, not even God himself can stop our two best friends, and then God's like, oh yeah? And then he shines a light across Springfield, I almost forgot the name of the town. And it's now middle of December, but it's 100 degrees now, and there's no snow.
I just love the concept of God being not angry, but wanna bet?
It's just such a good episode. There's so many great jokes I could go on. Adam West makes a cameo in it.
Does he?
There's a great part when Homer's first shopping for a car. They see a couple famous ones like Bart's in the Bonnie and Clyde car.
Oh, really?
And Homer's like, Bart, get out of that car. It's Bonnie and Clyde's. And he accidentally kicks the glove car and finds money in there and takes it.
Jeez.
And then they see the Batmobile from the '60s show, and he's like, oh, the Batmobile! Oh, Adam West! Kids! Batman! And then they're like, Dad, that's not the real Batman.
Aww.
And he's like, oh, of course I'm Batman. See, here's a picture of me with Robin. Who the hell's Robin? He's like, oh, I see you're only familiar with the new Batman movies. And he's like, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, the only true Catwoman was Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, or Eartha Kitt. They explain that in the '60s show. They recast Catwoman 3 times.
Are you serious?
The first 2 scenes was Julie Newmar. The movie they did was Lee Merriweather. Then the final scene was Eartha Kitt.
Oh my god.
So he says that, and then he's like, then he also says, and I didn't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Pure West. And he's like, and how come Batman doesn't dance anymore? Remember the Bat 2C? And then he's like, yeah, let's walk away now, kids.
Kids.
And then he comes back later on in the episode where Barney's now plowed Adam West's driveway, and Homer comes like, Mr. West, you said there was a job for me here. And he's like, there was, when I called you 45 minutes ago.
I think I've seen that one. God, Simpsons was so clever back in the day.
Yeah. There's my favorite bits actually is from when Homer first starts plowing all the streets. He's like one point he plows the Quickie Mart's driveway, and I keep Apu. I almost keep forgetting almost half
How
the
do you
names.
keep forgetting Apu, dude?
I almost forgot Springfield's name, so I'm being bad right now.
Bro.
So it was like, thank you, Mrs. Homa. Now my store can remain open. And then two guys with guns pulled the thing like, let's do this. To rob the store.
Oh my god.
And then he plows the... What did he plow? The senior center. And his dad's like, the snow's gone and we can go outside now. They stand there for a couple seconds. I'm cold and frightened. And then just go back inside. And the final one is that the school's gonna be closed at, and Seymour was like, I'm afraid school's gonna be canceled for today. He's telling that to the one kid who actually managed to get to school. You know that one kid who's like obsessed with school, who actually likes it?
Oh, which one?
I don't know his name, but he's like that one kid that they always the big kid's always bully because he likes school.
Glasses?
No.
Blonde hair, kinda white shirt?
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, now you're alive.
Yes.
So he makes school and he's like, I'm afraid school's gonna have to be canceled today. But then Homer plows the driveway so the school bus can get here. And then Seymour goes to Bart like, we won't miss a minute of school thanks to your dad. And then, man, I'm forgetting this guy's name. Who's the one kid who bullies Bart? Do you remember that guy's name?
I know who you're talking about. I do.
Nelson, that's what
Nelson!
his name was. I forget what the scene he's referring to. They're parodying a scene from a movie where he's like, say your prayers, plowboy, and then him and his army of guys just throw snowballs at Bart, and he falls around and he dies. It's parodying a movie, I forget what the scene is, though.
Oh, man. Sounds awesome, regardless.
Yeah. And also, Marge and Homer have plow-related sex. Because Marge is like, I was wrong about you buying that plow, Homer. You think maybe, just a little silly, could you wear the Mr. Plow jacket for tonight? That's basically it. I've probably rambled enough on that.
It sounds amazing. Amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
What's your next one?
This is unfortunately the last one I have on my list because I was given about 2 weeks to prepare a list. I only came up with 3.
Well, I actually only give you like a day. I think 2 days.
Sure.
To be fair, we were supposed to film this like next week.
Yeah, we were.
This is last minute rushed.
Yeah, true. But this last one, again, a bit of a weird pick because I've only ever seen this twice in my life. I don't know why I constantly have it in the back of my brain, but Pokemon had a Christmas special.
Did it?
It did, yes.
I still can never think of a Pokemon special one.
Me neither, but I watched it back when I was like 7 years old. It takes place in that in the season with May and her brother. You know,
Max.
May and Mac. I think at least.
I think that.
Actually, no. It's the one with Chikorita. It's the one with. I forget which generation it is.
Chikorita. Isn't that the? Is that the egg Pokemon?
It's the one with. You remember Typhlosion?
No.
Do you remember Totodile?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, wait. Totodile's the blue.
Yeah, the blue alligator. It's from that generation.
Isn't it literally this one? Like this generation?
No. That's the one I thought it was. It's not with May.
Oh.
It has
Oh wait, was that the one with Misty? Was that the one with Misty and the other guy that was not Brock?
I think so. I think it might have been. Regardless, because it did have Gen 1 Pokemon in it, so I think it was like the second season.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really not that special. It's exactly what you'd expect. Oh, the Pokemon are by themselves for this episode and they're being funny. I'm mentioning it because it confirms the existence of Santa Claus in the Pokemon universe.
Wait, where does reindeer then?
I think it's a Buffaland, which didn't exist prior, so... I think he just had, like, a reindeer. Like, they never show his face, it's always his boots. And just, like... Again, it's really not that great. It's not, like, the best Pokemon episode. I'm simply mentioning it because people need to know that Santa Claus is real in this universe.
I mean, he's real in every universe at this point.
Sure. He transcends the multi-dimensions.
So what seems weird to you? That or in the Marvel Comics universe, Santa is considered an Omega-level mutant?
Yeah, I remember that.
What seems weirder than that?
Honestly, Mega-level mutant, honestly. That's what I go for. Wasn't he kidnapped by Hitler?
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
I think I remember like reading on the wiki page that his arch enemy is the Hate Monger, who, for those of you who don't know, is a villain who is a clone of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, okay.
Who uses his hate ray and he shoots people to make them more hateful. This is from, like, the Silver Age of comics, by the way.
So what was the plot of the Pokemon one again?
It was really just, like, Santa Claus crash lands. I think his reindeer is sick, so Pikachu has to go find like a special berry and bring it back to him.
So where's Ash and the others in this little storyline?
I think they just like...
They left?
No, I think they just got like split up. I think, because it's been such a long time since I watched this, I think there was like a storm, they got split up. The guys are trying to look for Pikachu and the gang, but Pikachu and the gang are helping Santa Claus. Again, I'm only mentioning it because Santa Claus is in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, my best knowledge of Pokemon is just like the not Misty, no, Dawn, the Dawn era.
Oh, the Dawn era was great.
Yeah, that was my only era
Diamond and Pearl, that's my gang.
Yeah, that was my only era I watched. After that, it was... Well, I watched a bit of, like, the...
Gen 1?
No, the one I just showed.
Oh, yes, Jiraiya. That movie is amazing.
I watched that movie and a few episodes of that era, too.
Oh, yeah?
I saw a few episodes from the Misty and Brock era.
I grew up on the Misty and Brock era. I fell out of it, then got back into the Diamond and Pearl with Dawn.
Yeah.
I got weirdly into the
one that preceded after?
No, I wasn't a fan of Black and White. I did like X and Y, though.
I love the one that came after Dawn and Brock, but I wasn't a fan. I stopped caring after that one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And now we have Sword and Shield.
But so wait, does Santa have any actual... Did they say he has actual normal reindeer? Because I remember, like, the only episode of the original series I ever saw was that when Ash meets Misty, and, like, literally in her gym was, like, they had, like, this aquarium kit. Well, I'm bad on words right now.
With just regular fish?
Yeah, it was regular fish swimming, and as a kid that confused the hell out of me, I'm like, wait a minute, there's regular fish.
It's always so weird, because you think Pokemon are the only animals in there, but they talk about, like, stuff that requires actual real-life animals.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. And, like, and if they don't, you gotta get into the thing, like, are they eating Pokemon?
They have to be.
They eat Slowpoke tails. Anyway, I think
I bet you Licky Tongue's tongue is a delicacy.
Dude, if the French eat snails here, then I'm sure they'll eat Licky Tongues.
God, imagine a steaming... Oh, man, what's his name?
Steaming pile of Diglett?
No, what's the guy's... What was the turtle one name from Dawn's era? The
turtle? Turtwig.
Yeah, what's his final evolution one called?
Dang it, I don't remember.
Okay, whatever. Imagine like one of his a steaming, say, Tortwig.
Dude, the shell is like a bowl, and like his entire flesh is like ground beef, and like you're eating it up.
I hope there's someone watching this thing and we're ruining their life right now.
Oh, absolutely. They made a new Pokemon called Alcremie. Her entire thing is she's like a living cake pastry.
Name's all creamy.
Alcremie. Let me see if I can find
Alcremie?
Alcremie.
I hate that name so much.
Alcremie.
That implies that sounds so wrong.
Pokemon Alcremie. Yeah, Alcremie.
Well.
Yeah, this is her. That's Alcremie.
It just looks like a fan artist made that.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Absolutely hilarious.
Alright, is that your last one?
That's unfortunately the last one I have on my list.
I have, unfortunately, a lot more. So.
Oh, do you? Well, hey, we have more to talk about.
Yeah. Alright, so my next one is actually Phineas and Ferb.
Brandon, how completely unexpected. And by unexpected, I mean completely expected!
Yeah. We're talking about it way too much lately with him. Admittedly, I will say I have.
I mean, hey, I enjoy it when we talk about Phineas and Ferb. I never grew up with it, so it's interesting to learn about.
Yeah, and hear me like rant about the timeline.
Yeah. Please make a video about it. That would be amazing.
I'm considering it, honestly.
You absolutely should.
Because I've been rewatching it, and I'm actually keeping track of days and like making notes about like. So I'm generally trying to figure out the days, but whatever.
Dude, that's more effort than I put into school. What's going on here?
I always put more effort in my YouTube channel than school, anyways.
This one goes out to you, teachers.
My parents would ask, why do you put more effort in your YouTube videos in school? Like,
I
care
enjoy
more about this.
YouTube.
If this is more important to me, all right.
Exactly.
Education.
Entertainment.
You know, people. You can. I don't know what's going with that.
I have Google.
Chris Pratt dropped out of college and he's successful.
Exactly. Maybe because he has a six-pack and I don't, but hey.
I mean, he was fat first, but
He
turned his life around at some point.
He worked eventually.
Now he's married to Schwarzenegger's daughter.
He is?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got married to his daughter like about last year.
Arnie is his father-in-law?
Yeah, I think he said he went to his gym with him one time, worked out.
He went to the gym with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Chrissy boy. Congratulations, my man.
Yeah, so this episode's called the Christmas Vacation episode, which is this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
So the plot of this episode is that it's set after their summer. It's Christmas time now.
Yes.
And Phineas and Ferb, they felt like, Santa always does nice things for us. Why don't we do something nice to show we appreciate him? So they get them the whole town. First off, they build a rest stop on top of their house for Santa, which consists of a steam bath, reindeer feeding center, and then one part is like a beard groomer. There's also a workout station to work off all the milks and cookies. Right next to it, and then they got the whole town to kind of construct this big, almost kind of thank you card to Santa.
That's nice.
They basically wrapped the whole town in this massive Christmas-looking gift.
Oh.
Yeah, but of course Doofenshmirtz's whole thing is happening where he wants to destroy Christmas, of course, because he's evil. But ironically for him, does not have a problem with Christmas.
Really?
The man whose childhood is probably one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my life. He literally says, the only problem my plan is that I don't really have a problem with Christmas. It was never great, it was never horrible, it was just fine. It was never that bad growing up.
Christmas, I don't have any bad memories from it.
Which shocked me, because I'm like, this man had to work as a lawn gnome. He was raised by ocelots.
This man's parents weren't even there for his own birth, which is physically impossible. That's like the universe itself spitting on you.
Even God's like,
sorry, man.
Even I have to admit, I royally effed up on those two.
Hey,
I'm sorry, man.
We have a hell, and your punishments ain't nothing in comparison.
Yeah. Even Satan's looking down. I'm like, oh no.
Dude, give him a break!
But anyway, so basically he built this whole... Actually, he didn't even build this innator, he built it called the Nazi-nator, but it wasn't even his creation. His Uncle Justin, who's currently hiding in Borneo,
Is his uncle?
mailed him this invention that he decided to build anyway because it would be wrong for him to not build the gift his uncle sent him.
Is his uncle a villain too?
He just said he's hiding in Borneo, so...
Is he like a terrorist? What? A holiday terrorist, oh my god.
Look, at this point, I don't know.
It was in his blood the entire time.
So he has his innator stuck, and he's like, I don't have a reason to fire it, though. So we're like, I guess I have no choice. And he whoops out a chair and says, the Satan, wait for a reason. And then Perry's also just stuck there, just kind of just waiting on him to find a reason. At one point he's like, one thing I want for Christmas is a reason to hate Christmas. and then eventually at some point, some carolers come to his house and forcefully force their way into his house by singing, hey, bring us some Vicky pudding. And they legit want Vicky pudding.
And he's like, I don't have Vicky pudding.
Yeah, and he makes a joke like, what kind of plan is this? Anyways, you force your way into someone's home and through songs say you want a dessert platter known as served since the 20th century. Which annoys him enough. I finally have a reason to hate Christmas. So he fires the innator, and now he covers the town of Danville's now covered in a cloud that makes the whole town seem Nazi, which then sends the signal to the North Pole. Up, Danville's entirely Nazi now.
Oh, we better skip that one.
Yeah, so
just airdrop the coal.
Which even Santa resends all their letters back stamped Nazi.
Really? Yo.
Yeah. Which then makes Phineas and the gang stop, and he's like, no, this town's not naughty. So then they basically try getting a message out to the North Pole by singing a song. Two of their elves come by and they try to figure out what's going on. Through other circumstances, Perry does manage to destroy the innator and break it.
Of course he does.
Well, no, he doesn't actually break it. It's
really?
Because he got a Christmas gift from a Secret Santa called a Sal Tuscany Christmas. It'll make sense. It's a CD that's different size of plagues he saw on him, and at one point the song is a song that says Christmas cannot be destroyed, not even by a naughty innator, which causes his thing to blow up. And he's like, all right, I guess we'll have Christmas this year.
All right.
Curse my burning indifference towards Christmas.
I love how we just witnessed a part of his origin story. This is why I hate Christmas now. You were there to see it.
Yeah, and then so now town's now deemed nice again, as the elves see by their thermometer thing or whatever. But it's already too late. Santa's gone out, planted his route, so he's gonna not go to Danville now.
What a fatty. What a fatty.
So then Phineas and the gang they make a sleigh and they deliver the presents across town and stuff. And they manage to save Christmas. Santa does show up at the end.
Hey.
And basically, for a weird cheeky... Santa's very cheeky in this. He basically reveals that, I kind of planned all this. Because they reveal afterwards when Doofenshmirtz breaks his CD because he's pissed at it for breaking his nader. Like, I guess I'll call my Uncle Justin and thank him for the present anyways. And like, can you connect me to Borneo? Wait, Barneo? I thought I said Borneo. Where's Borneo? The North Pole? And you're like, wait a minute. The letter of the South Tuscany Christmas rearranged spelled Santa Claus with an embarrassing leftover Y.
That's clever.
So for a weird Santa Claus sent him the nature to make that town naughty, but also sent that CD to Agent P to at the same time break the innate.
Why would you do this?
Because it's part of his whole thing to give everyone their Christmas wishes, because Phineas's Christmas wish is that he wants to one time be like Santa Claus, because he kind of looks up to him as a hero, because he talking about making the most of every day this guy does. Like, he flies around the entire world once a year. It's awesome.
Okay. Interesting. And excuse.
It's very weird, I know.
That was amazing.
It's ridiculous, but it's like charming. It's fun.
God, I love Doofenshmirtz.
It was like my favorite.
So good.
My favorite part of the episode is that Perry, at one point when he's sneaking off to his lair, which they even play a Christmas version of his theme quickly. Instead of saying doody doody doo ba doo, they say fa la 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 la. He finds a snowman and puts a hat on him and comes to life. He's like, Christmas time is now. Follow me. And then Perry starts following him with a smile on his face. Someone gets run by a car and dies. And then Perry just sees the carrot nose flings back behind Perry and just looks at it. And he just looks like this. And then he enters his headquarters for the Christmas party with a blank look on his face, like holding his carrot nose. And Margram's like, hey, Agent P, you made it. Hey, I see you brought snacks. Takes the carrot and eats it. And Perry's like,
I love Perry just got like PTSD from that.
Which the episode ends with him actually bringing the guy back to life. He reconstructs him.
It's amazing.
Almost the exact thing happens again. He almost gets run over again. But luckily he thought he did, but then he looks again and says he didn't. He's like, never mind, don't follow me, because someone else got hit and said, man, that was close.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's very clever.
Yeah. There's even like a great bit of continuity in this episode, which I appreciate the show for.
Yes.
There's like 15 episodes prior, there was an episode where Margram was telling Perry, like, alright, Agent B, we've been hacking Doofenshmirtz's emails, and first things first, we know what you're getting him for Christmas. We know what he's getting you for Christmas. We won't tell you, of course, but the vase. And they show him the vase. This episode later, Perry at the end, during the whole big montage at the end, he goes to Doofenshmirtz's house, gives him a gift, then Doof gives him a gift, which is the exact same vase they show from that episode.
These writers are on some like next level stuff.
Yeah, like it's the littlest thing. They did not need to call back to it, but they did, which I appreciate so much.
Jeez Louise, that is amazing.
Yeah. Which I always thought when he got the gift, he was looking at it like, oh, a vase, that's what I always wanted. But now I realize that, oh wait, he's making a weird face because he knows it was the gift.
Oh, really?
Because he makes an awkward face like, oh, thanks. But now I'm like, oh, he made an awkward face because he knew that was the gift.
Because he knew he got it. Oh my god. Dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's overall a very fun, sweet episode. So it's got a lot of great Christmas songs from the cast and stuff.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Okay, what's next on the list then?
Next one, I'm going to see how long we've been recording so far. So. Alright, so we're trying to go fast. So next one on the list is Justice League from the Justice League cartoon called Comfort and Joy.
I was aware that they had a Christmas episode, but I never watched it.
Yeah, he's seen Justice League Unlimited, not the first one.
Best show.
Yeah. So in the original Justice League cartoon, they had always 2-part episodes.
Yes.
Sometimes 3-part episodes usually were the season premiere finales.
Yeah, for big stuff.
Yeah. For one episode of season 2, Comfort and Joy was the Christmas episode. It's a 1-parter, just a single episode. And it's quite an enjoyable, sweet episode. So, the premise is, of course, all the Justice League are spending their versions of Christmas and stuff. Only people not in the episode are Batman and Wonder Woman, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah. So, essentially there's 3 storylines going on throughout the episode. So, one of them is Green Lantern and Hawkgirl, because like they're, at this point, a couple of sorts.
Oh.
And so, because they just finished saving up this like moon, this like ice moon from crashing into an alien planet, so Jon Stewart decides to stay there and for a little while just to have fun in the snow, like snowboarding and stuff.
Nice.
And then him and Hawkgirl have a snowball fight
Aww.
at one point, and then she decides to take him to this planet that she goes to like kind of celebrate and stuff, which is this big. She goes to this planet where a bar and has a big bar fight. This is how she kind of likes to celebrate and unwind.
The ideal woman.
Yeah. It's not the most interesting of the three storylines. I think it's the least one.
It definitely seems like the more like, hey, this is for the fans who like the romance aspect.
Yeah, it's very simple and easy.
Yeah.
Then you have the other two storylines, which I think are really good. So you have the Flash, which because you saw the one episode of Justice Unlimited where
they
about
go
the Flash there,
yes,
right?
Yes,
How,
which is amazing.
Where the town loves him.
Yes.
So that's basically what Flash is like in this episode. So basically, Flash every year goes and hangs out with kids at the orphanage, and like every year he goes and gets them a gift for them. So they tell him, so what do you want this year for kids? And they tell him
He's literally Santa.
He wears a Santa hat at one point.
He's literally Santa.
So they tell him you want this like little ducky toy, like robot thing that makes like sings a stupid song and makes fart noises because that's what kids are like.
Of course.
And like this person tells them, don't get their hope to that toy's sold out everywhere. Like trust me, Gorilla Grodd was no problem. I got this. And of course he runs around town and of course they're sold everywhere. Like I take it back. Gorilla Grodd was never this much problem. So finally he runs to Japan or China. I don't know exactly where. Don't kill me.
One of the Asians.
Yeah, and he gets a toy from the company straight there. He gets the last one. And starts running back. The robbery happens in the museum, not a robbery. So out comes the Ultra Humanites.
Who?
The Ultra Humanite is this. I think he's a dude. From my understanding, I don't know much about him. He's a guy who personifies him as the advancement of human intellect. And he's transferred his brain to a white monkey, a white gorilla. And I think from what he does in the comics that he transfers his mind between animal bodies to live longer.
I was about to say, is this just like white Gorilla Grodd?
But more sophisticated, I would say.
Really?
He's much more like, because his whole thing is that he attacks the museum just to destroy the art, because can you believe this art? People actually spend $50,000 a year on this so-called art.
I mean, he ain't wrong, bro. Somebody bought a banana for $24,000, so I...
Yeah, and then Flash defeats him, but then he accidentally punches him right on top of the toys with breaks.
No!
Pisses off Flash, makes him sad.
Dang!
And he starts telling, like, he starts trying to talk to Ultra Humanities, like, how can you be so heartless? Wasn't there ever something you wanted when you ever wanted? Yes, and I can always have your team to thank for it.
No!
And he starts telling how, like, as a kid, and like, he even said that, the holidays, so it's dumb, it's pointless, getting this stuff, and like, he basically tells them, like, hey, this was for a bunch of kids who needed it. I was hoping that if I gave them some joy, they would spread it later on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And so some like Flash feels so defeated because he promised these kids this, and then he can't get it now, so he even tells, hey, so Ultraman picks up his gun again, like, if you're gonna use it on me, just use it. I feel awful. So he just backhands Flash into the head. But then he wakes up and sees he's just fine, and he finds the Ultraman at a work table on the toy, and he says, your words spoken means me, Flash, despite how weird they may have been. There was some good true meaning on it. So in honor of the season, I call a truce. Really? Sure. Okay. So I starts fixing the toy, and I'm improving on it. It's not gonna blow up, will it? Flash. So he starts improving on it. He takes him back to the orphanage with the toy and puts him in a little top hat. And he says, just give him the toy and take him to jail. And he's improved the toys now. It has his audio, Ultraman's voice, and it tells the kids a little jaunty Christmas tale.
Are you serious?
It tells them a very simple, like, 'twas the night before Christmas. And like, a very simple storyline. Flash is, and the kids are confused, like, what happened? Is this Ducky, whatever his name was, Ducky thing, the toy? But the kids end up liking the toy.
Oh, yeah?
They actually start enjoying it, and Flash's like, this is good too, I guess.
Aww.
The episode ends, like, and here's how Ultraman's a very sophisticated villain. Like, he appeared in an earlier Legion of Doom episode, and they established that he's actually a very sophisticated, like, not violent villain in the prison. Like, they treat him much more fairly than other prisoners because he's more calm.
Okay.
So when they deliver him to prison, Flash is already in his cell, and he's just saying, I'm just here to say thanks for helping me out. And he brought a little white miniature Christmas tree to put in his cell. And he's like, a plastic tree, how joyful. Oh. He's like, I know it's kind of cheesy. Like, no, we have one just like it. Thank you. The guard will show you out. So then he shows up, it comes out, and then he also left a little light projector thing where he turns it on and like lights flash around the room and stuff. And like, and you see the Ultraman smiling, and Flash looks back, also smiling.
It's so wholesome. Why is Flash like the best superhero ever? He's like legitimately a hero.
Yeah, and then my personal favorite one is the one with Superman and Martian Manhunter. So
yes,
he invites Martian Manhunter to his house for Christmas because he has nowhere to stay, and he thinks this is a bad idea. It's like, I was not gonna let you stay in the Watchtower on Christmas Eve. Besides, Batman practically begged for that position.
Jesus Christ.
So then he brings him over to the Kent's house and stuff, and like, it's such a funny interaction when he first shows up. He just standing there, Because like you imagine the Sanders talking like, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Kent," and Super Clark said, "I insisted I join you for Christmas. I'm a Martian." And like we're no stranger to people here.
We're no stranger to aliens.
So he spends Christmas with them, and they even give him like a little gift, like give him a Christmas sweater, which he shapeshifts to fit more.
This show is so wholesome.
And it's someone he's still kind of baffled by the whole holiday premise. He doesn't really fully get. So it's someone he sneaks away and goes into Smallville to kind of see more about it. So
yes.
he sees stuff like a little girl hoping like praying for Santa to be real, like because some kid told her he's not. So he decides like to be a little bit nice and actually go on top of a roof, make a clacking noise, be like Santa, and like Demon goes out and grabs a cookie from the thing, which is a Oreo cookie grabs, which is a reference to him in the comics liking Oreos.
That's amazing.
And later on, he walks by a church, which is like singing like Christmas song and stuff, or like whatever. And then some like the Christmas day wakes up, Superman and the Kents hear singing, and they hear Martian Manager in his room singing, and Superman's like, and he said he didn't bring a gift. And you just have Martian Manhunter in his like natural form, petting a kitty, Nash just singing.
It's so cute. Wasn't there one line where they're talking about like how Superman believed in Santa?
Yes.
Yeah. Go on.
Because there's a part where they said they're telling a story about Superman when he was a kid, and they said, "Oh, this guy was a handful when he was a kid because they used to wrap his gifts in lead so you couldn't look through them." And he's like,
Santa did that.
Yeah, and I'm like, this guy works alongside a Martian, a Thanagarian, has fought thousands of year-old people like Ra's al Ghul, has fought Darkseid, has gone through time and fought Nazis. Yet
Yet he believes to this day in Santa Claus. That is amazing.
There's even a bit where he actually is still looking through his gifts, and it's like lead.
Lead.
I only wish they included one scene of Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I was thinking like maybe, like, because they could have sacrificed a bit of the Green Lantern, but it's literally just a fight scene in a lot of his.
Yeah,
things.
honestly, the Green Lantern and the Hawk Girl one sounds the least interesting.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Like not Green Lantern. I mean, Flash, super wholesome, super cute. Superman and Green Martian, super wholesome, super cute.
Green Martian.
Fudge, fudge. I mean, Martian Manhunter.
Tell me more about the Green Martian.
Well, you see, he's a DC supervillain, and
yeah, what was I about to say also? But I was kind of hoping like what they did is that because Batman's in the Watchtower, they on Christmas Eve, which makes sense.
I would have loved to see like maybe bring in some of the Bat family. And see
Well, here's what I was thinking because Wonder Woman also at this point in the show had been banished from Themyscira. I think you're sort of aware of that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it kind of happens around the first couple episodes.
Yeah, and just earlier on, they established that she had to bring the Justice to Themyscira to help save it, which her mom thanks her for, but because of their rules on Themyscira, that she has to now force banish you. You brought men, but she still comes and hangs out every once in a while. Her mom,
because her mom still loves her.
Yeah, so like she's now has nowhere to go, so she comes and spends. Well, she's also new to the world still, so this is kind of her first Christmas. So I thought it would have been nice seeing it like. Batman just sitting on the Watchtower all by himself. Wonder Woman comes in, two cups of cocoa maybe.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing here? I have Mom are doing." He's like, "I have nowhere else to go for Christmas, so I decided to stay here, keep you company."
It would have been nice if like Batman, who is this brooding like happiness, bleh, becomes the one who shows Wonder Woman about the Christmas spirit because she never experienced it.
That would kind of nice.
Yeah, I think it would have been kind of cute.
Plus, it would have having that one. If they had a little scene like that, it would have. Showed more about the relationship they had in the show.
Exactly. Which gets rarely touched upon, but when it does, they're so cute.
They only did that because the fans clamored that. No, can you put Superman and Wonder Woman relationship together? And they're like, no, that'd be kind of boring.
It's just gods being in love with gods.
Yeah, and they decided let's do Batman and Wonder Woman, which of course people end up loving. Yeah. There's actually a funny episode earlier in the show where like. Wonder Woman's at a party, like as a ambassador, I guess there, and people kept asking her a question, and she was being bombarded by people. Someone asked her for a dance, and she's like, "Yes, I will," and like, it's Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
She's basically helping her get out of that situation. And of course, he's acting like at this point she doesn't know that he's Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. But at some point later at the end of the episode, after her whole battle thing happens, she talks to Batman and is like, "Oh, by the way, you sold me a dance," and he's like. I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, sure you don't.
Sure, Bruce.
So, that's that.
That's amazing.
Alright, we're almost clocking in an hour, so I'm trying to go a bit quicker on some of these.
We're going lightning speed. Let's go.
Next one is Rick and Morty, or the episode Rattlestar Rick.
I was going to mention that one, actually.
Oh.
I didn't because I felt like, it's a little recent. Yeah, I'll go with something else. Good choice, good choice.
Yeah, it's their second Christmas episode from Rick and Morty. The first one was good, but this one I think is just...
I think this one's it's very funny. It's just really good.
What I love about, because this is from season 4 of the show, what I love about season 4 is how, like, absolutely off the wall the storyline we get.
Yes.
Like literally, you cannot sit there and say Rick and Morty season 4 was not as simple weird, it was really something weird.
Season 3 was very controversial, but I think Season 4 is just like, hey, this is what we want to do. We just want to be wacky. We want to go off the wall, and that's what they did.
Yeah, we were...
With time-traveling snakes.
Not related to the Chris episode, but one time, me and my brother were watching the Story Train episode.
Oh, yeah?
And at one point, when, like, Rick and Morty turned themselves back into themselves, not be disguised as females, my brother was like, at this point, nothing this show does surprises me. Later in the episode, as it kept going in and out of all these weird story things, my brother was like, what the F is happening in this episode?
What the hell is happening?
And
then it reveals nothing actually happened, and they were just sitting in their room the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, so this episode basically is that it's Christmas time again, Rick and Morty were on... We don't even know what they were doing originally on their adventure. They just went into space and nothing happened.
I think they were, like, driving through space. I think Rick let Morty drive the car, and he accidentally crushed into this space alien snake.
No, what happened was just that Rick was just driving, he got a flat tire in space.
Oh, okay, my bad.
And then, like, a space thing comes out and bites Morty, then he goes to the planet to get a cure, which he does. But then Morty feels bad, like, Rick, I can't be responsible for this one snake being their only hope of survival, and then we just killed him. Mm-hmm. And so, Morty, whatever, who cares?
They would have killed each other through racism or something anyway. I think that was a line.
Yeah, that's what it was like. A population of 1.7 billion, divided into 10 nations on the brink of war against race? Oh, can you imagine a racist snake?
Race?
And then, like... And then he come back home and, like, there's a funny line from Rick where he's like, hey, Morty, I can tell you feel bad about the whole snake situation, so I'll tell you what, I'll avoid you for the rest of the day.
Thanks, Rick.
And, of course, I'll go through this. Morty then goes buys a real snake from Earth and sends him back to the alien planet. Yes. Which then causes the mayhem, because that snake somehow causes a domino effect that's... turns into Terminator, essentially.
Yep. And they try... Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah, like, I was rewatching that just yesterday, and I was like, I can't even fathom half the stuff.
And then the meatball heads from, like, season 1 or 2, they come back.
Yeah.
That's such an awesome callback.
I love it because, like, Rick's like, I don't know how, because at this point, I don't know how to fix it. It's like, here's what we're going to do. So he makes it worse just so that they can come and fix it.
And their solution is to beat up a cave snake.
So essentially,
Doof? Rick and Morty, what an unexpected surprise.
I'm going mad in my head on top right now. Rick essentially just put that species extinct.
Exactly, that species did not happen.
Yeah, like, it's so bomb. I love that because also, they always said they would never do time travel. Or they always had that box of time travel stuff in their garage.
They kind of did it twice in this season.
When was the second?
It was the other one where, like, they give Morty a reset button.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which kind of came out to be not really time travel.
That was, like, just interdimensional stuff.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, proceed.
But yeah, of course, then, it's funny because Rick's like, god damn it, what are you doing, Rick? I now need to remind myself to do another thing that adds to your F-up already. And then they're forced to do time travel.
Forced to do it.
Which then, it then gets even more insane when, like, they decide to go back in time and prevent Abraham's snake from being assassinated. And they think it's all good. They come back in time and now Nazi snakes are still a thing, so they have to go back in time to kill Nazi Hitler. Which then, do you remember that bit where, like, they keep, like, so many people keep sending back to kill Hitler?
Yeah.
Like one guy come back to kill Hitler, someone come back to kill that guy. By this point, like, thousands of things are in that timeline trying to not kill or kill Hitler.
Yep.
How have we mentioned Hitler twice in this Christmas?
I have! Hitler is synonymous with Christmas.
Oh,
I've
Jesus.
always known it. Mistletoe, it's secret Nazi propaganda.
Yeah.
Quote me on that.
Yeah, and then of course the episode end with like future Rick and Morty telling, not so fast, assholes, you gotta do this shit now.
You gotta do this stuff, Virgo.
Wow, you're so mean. Why are you so mean about it? The other guys did nothing mean either, but look where they were. Don't you remember that?
That was so good. The other guys didn't have to be mean.
And then it ends like, I feel like we're forgetting something, Rick. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding Morty. Next time, stay in the car. Punches him.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, like, Morty asks Previous, like, why do you have a black eye? Just shut up, shut up. Oh, and then Jerry's side plot.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to decorate the house, but he proceeds to screw up so badly.
And then he kills a whole people on a bunch of plane.
Yeah.
To save himself. Like, I did it! I'm like, Jerry, honestly, sometimes you're worse than Rick.
You've committed an act of terrorism. God, it was so funny.
Anyways.
So funny.
But yeah, so that's that episode. It's not like an hour-long video at this point.
I mean, hey, it wouldn't be our first.
At this point, I don't care anymore. People watch it, who knows?
Exactly. It's Christmas. Let us enjoy ourselves.
Alright, so I'll go for these a little bit faster now, because not much to talk about.
How many more do you have?
4 more, but I'll be very quick talking about them.
Not a problem.
So, next one is from the Looney Tunes show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the... You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, the one that I also like, with Lola and...
yeah, so this was... I don't know, I guess the more controversial one. Some people didn't like it.
Some people thought, like, oh, it's not cartoony enough.
Yeah. I will admit that not every episode of the show is great. Like, the first episode's quite boring.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah. This episode was called A Christmas Carol, and essentially it's not they're not doing their version of A Christmas Carol. Don't worry about that.
I was expecting it, honestly.
So basically, what happens is that they take a different approach where it's Christmas, it's middle of December, but it's over 100 degrees outside. It's sunny. It's like there's no snow, and it's making everyone depressed. Like, no, why celebrate the holidays? It's so hot. And Yosemite Sam's tree business is being burned down now because it's so hot.
Wow, that's clever.
And Lois.
Lorona.
Anyway.
Continue.
Anyway, so now Lois like, I know I'll go in the Christmas spirit. I'll put on a play to bring the Christmas spirit in. And Bug's like, why not a Christmas Carol? And she's like, what? You never heard of a Christmas Carol? It's one of the most famous stories of all time. And like he gives her the book about it, and she's gonna tell a play. Then she passed out on her driveway because she was wearing a parka and stuff. 100 degrees. Which he sits there for a couple minutes, and then once finally Daffy leaves, he's like, Bugs, your girlfriend fainted.
Bugs.
And so Lola's plot, she's putting out a Christmas Carol along with Bugs, Yosemite Sam, Porky, Speedy, and the Gopher too.
Oh yes, Chippendale, I think.
No, that's the different characters.
Oh, okay.
Those are Disney.
Sorry.
And Daffy's going to the North Pole of Foghorn Leghorn to install a giant fan to blow some snow down to Earth. Very Looney Tune plan.
Thank you, Daffy. You're a hero.
No, it's Foghorn Leghorn's plan.
Oh, it's Foghorn's?
Yeah, it's his plan because he's a businessman.
Yes, he is in this show.
And he always ropes Daffy in his plan somehow.
I don't. Why is their relationship so fatherly?
I don't know.
It's like it comes out of nowhere.
I like it.
I like it too.
And oh my god, there's one point where like they finally got to the top of the North Pole to put the fan on, and I was like, we made it! I always knew we made it! Except that one time I was laying in the snow and tried to die, but after that I didn't make it! But after that also, after that one point when I was planning on killing you, I'll cut open your carcass and lay inside you for warmth, but I remember it's probably too much effort to clean out your carcass, but after that I knew we could do it!
I knew, except for that one time when we were laying in the snow wanting to die.
That was only Daphne doing it.
That was amazing.
And then, but also Lola's plot, because she read the Christmas Carol and thought, this is too depressing, so she rewrote the whole thing.
Really?
So now it's about a girl named Carol, and it's about how the elves come and tell her, your father, Santa's gone missing. And everyone keeps talking about, this is the worst play I think I've ever done in my life.
Worst I've ever seen.
But then they all get trapped in Lola's trap door on the stage.
Really?
Yeah. So now Bugs is forced to do a one-man version of the whole play.
I've never seen this episode.
I'll show you one minute.
Okay.
And Daffy and Foghorn's thing does not work, but Daffy thought he plugged the fan into Santa's workshop, but he just hypothermia and hallucinated it. And they go to watch the Christmas play, and like everyone thinks it's awful. But then Santa comes in, of course.
Jesus, my God!
And tells them, I know Christmas is hard, but look at this. This awful play is unrecognizable. It brought the whole town together here. And stuff, and whatever. It's meaningful in a way.
Oh my God.
The episode ends though when Christmas snow does come, and Santa's like, hey guys, I plugged your fan in, by the way.
Hey guys, I got you!
And then the whole cast of the show sings a Christmas song.
Oh.
It's not particularly sung well, I think, but I guess that's not really the point.
I mean, it's the Looney Tunes.
The funniest part of the whole song at one point, it's like Porky singing, he's like, all you gotta have is faith, and then Daffy's like, what a lovely Christmas wraith. And Bugs is like, you mean Rafe? No, I mean Rafe.
I mean
It's not Rafe.
God, Looney Tunes are so clever. Apparently, the Looney Tunes show up in the Animaniacs reboot. Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I just thought I'd mention it.
That's weird. I heard only Yakko Wacko Dot and the Pinky and the Brain show up.
Yeah, only those original characters show up, but apparently
All the other side characters do have a cameo in one
yes,
episode.
and like did you watch Nostalgia Critic's video on it?
Yeah, I watched part of it.
I did too, yeah. But the Flintstones and the Looney Tunes show up for some reason. Don't know why.
I was wondering the Lunatics show up also.
Lunatics, really?
You never heard about that?
I think I've heard about
They
them.
were like a very like not successful Looney Tunes spin-off property where like it's set years in the future where now they have ancestor where they're now superheroes and supervillains.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
I saw an image where they appeared in the show. I'm like, wow, a really deep cut there. I don't think anyone remembers that thing.
Jeez Louise. Oh well.
But yes, that's Looney Tunes.
That's Looney Tunes Christmas.
So I'll go a bit more Christmas. Will be easier now. So this next one is Doctor Who. It's a Christmas Carol.
Ooh, they have great Christmas
Yeah.
specials.
I
Can't believe I didn't mention it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Doctor Who. I don't know when I'll get Doctor Who at some point on
Yeah.
here because I'm not caught up with the show currently.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so this one it was the Christmas special between seasons or series 5 and 6 of the show. Essentially, it's called a Christmas Carol, but it's not a Christmas Carol per se. It's slightly different. So, I'm not sure if you remember this episode, but it's basically he took Rory and Amy on a honeymoon thing on this ship, the big Christmas kind of related ship. But then the ship's trying to land on this planet, but there's this big fog cloud that makes it impossible to try and land. And like they're gonna crash if they can't see.
Okay.
Doctor finds out that this guy named Kazran, played by special guest star Michael Gambon, who was Dumbledore in Harry Potter.
Nice.
And he finds out that he's this guy who can control this fog cloud with this machine that's synced to his brain waves. So but he's such a Scrooge where he won't fix it.
Yeah.
He won't do it. He's like, let them die. And so basically then he decides the only way to save them is by changing this guy's life. But he's going to make him also a nicer person, but also make his life better. Okay. So he goes back in time and meets him as a younger kid and kind of like makes him have a better life. And they end up, for circumstances, it's kind of weird to explain and complicated. They unfreeze this girl because in this world, his father, this kid's father, people pay him, or no, he'll lend money to the poor people, but in exchange they must give them a family member to freeze up for years. It's quite messed up, I know.
Okay, proceed.
They end up unfreezing this one girl named Abigail, and because she might be able to help with them. But then for a series of events, they decide, you know what, every year we'll come back and have Christmas Eve with you.
This is sounding very familiar now.
And Doctor's like, I didn't agree to that. Not too bad. So now he's forced to come back every year, for years, as the one kid keeps growing older, and they keep going on different Christmas adventures. And it's sweet because the older version of him, the grumpy, were like it's how time travel works. Like he's remembering them as it's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So like he's not like getting it all at once. It's like slowly coming to memories to him.
Yes, as it changes in the past. It's all relative.
Yeah, and some points, I'll go for this very quick because it's an hour-long episode it was.
We're almost done.
Yeah. Basically, at some point the kid grows up and him and the girl fall in love. He's now a little older. But at some point he realizes that she was ill and dying before she went here, and like every time she kept it, every once in a while, like her days would start lowering down every time she'd be unfrozen. So then next time she'd be unfrozen would be her last day alive. So then he tells Doctor, let's just stop this, and doesn't tell him why. So then he starts becoming more grumpy as it goes on. So the Doctor was a ghost Christmas past. Amy becomes a ghost Christmas present, tries convincing him, showing him all these people he's about to let die. And then the Doctor ends up becoming the ghost Christmas future again by bringing his younger self to meet his older self and show him, is this who you want to become? And then, for circumstances, no, and he decides to save the people. He releases his girlfriend, who's now, because her song, it's very weird to explain these things. Her song can somehow soothe the clouds to fix them, because now the Doctor's altered this guy's brainwaves so much from his time traveling, the machine does not work for him anymore. So, but they found out singing does work with controlling the fog. Very weird. So they released the girl Abigail, and she saves the day and stuff, and the ship lands. That's that.
Alrighty then.
Doctor Who's very weird to explain without content.
Why do they have so many Christmas episodes? It's really, it's cool, but it's kind of strange.
I don't know. I mean, Screen Junkies put it best one time when they did an Australia for Doctor Who, and they said, the Doctor's greatest enemy, Christmas.
Christmas. So true.
But there's a lot of great funny lines from the Doctor, of course, and there's one part where he comes in, and he's talking about Santa. He's making a comparison to Santa Claus when he first meets Kazran and also this poor family that were there. And the Santa Claus, like, Santa Claus isn't real. Of course he's real. I know. You know him also as Kris Kringle Santa Claus, or as I personally know him as Jeff. And so And they're like, but Santa Claus isn't real though. Oh yeah, how about this then? He whips out a piece of paper which is a picture of him. See, there's me, Santa Claus, at Frank Sinatra's house with also Albert Einstein. The three of us, whew, watch out.
It is criminal that we got 2 other doctors before we got that episode. Starring him, Frank Sinatra.
We never see him with them interaction, actually. But later on, after their time travel escapade with that kid and that girl, they do go back to Frank Sinatra's house at one point, and like he says, guys, we gotta leave right now. Oh, actually, I may have accidentally just got engaged to Marilyn Monroe. And he's like, and then they start kissing, and like they're kissing now. He's like, how are you doing that? Not breathing. Like you're just going in there. Don't you need to breathe? And someone's like, guys, come on, the limo's outside. She wants to go now. And it's like, all right. And of course, they keep kissing. They won't leave. He's like, all right, fine. I'll get married to show you guys. So then he goes to get married to Marilyn Monroe.
Doctor, you absolute stud.
So.
My God.
Yeah, that's that episode.
This is the same person who's fallen in love so many times.
I mean, he also married the Queen of England, who's David Tennant Doctor.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he has River Song also, so...
Yeah, and he made like a copy of himself to live in an alternate timeline with Rose.
He must have also been married before, because he has a granddaughter, remember?
Yes, and then he also falls in love with, the doctor's wife or whatever, who is... I forget the story. It's the girl who says spoilers a lot, right?
Yeah, River Song.
That's my bad.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. It's been a long time.
Alright, so these are the final 2. We'll go very quickly on them. They're easy. This one I want to mention as a little, just a fun one, The Office.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. When I was looking up ideas for Christmas specials, the Christmas episode of The Office came up.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't watch it though.
Yeah, so this one, I just picked one from season 2. It's called Office Party, I think it was, or Christmas Party, something like that.
Christmas Party.
Yeah, it's a simple one, it's a very fun one. They're having a little Secret Santa thing, putting a party on together. But then of course, because he got a big bonus check from firing someone earlier in the year, because he was forced to. So he decided to buy an iPod, even though the limit was $20.
Okay.
So he thought, it's gonna be so great, I got an iPod, it's gonna be the best gift here. And then, it's also an episode that shows, like, how Michael Scott did a dick sometimes.
Yes.
Because he gets a homemade oven mitt as his Secret Santa gift, and he hated so much, he decided, alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a Yankee swap. You can either choose a gift to swap, or choose another gift to have.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Just so he couldn't have it.
Yeah, which is, like, very rude.
Oh, that's so...
It does get better at the end of the episode, which, I mean... Later on, because this person who made him who knitted the oven mitt was stabbed, but then later when the character Michael Scott leaves the show, like she was knitting him an oven mitt for him to go, but for circumstance he decided to leave. They thought he was staying for 2 extra days. He actually decided to leave. This would be his last day, but didn't tell anyone because he didn't want a big emotional goodbye.
Oh.
And so he kept rushing the girl now to finish it before he leaves, without telling her. She doesn't finish it in time, but he's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's perfect." So it's kind of sweet, kind of come back around.
That's cute.
It's a fun little thing. There's a couple of fun things that happen. Not much. My favorite line of the whole thing, though, is at one point they bought a tree. They had to cut the top of it off, though. It's way too big.
Just to fit, yeah.
Yeah. So one guy's like, what do we do with this little hacked off part now? It's like, that, Kevin, is a perfectly good mini tree. And we're going to sell that to charity. Because that's what Christmas is about. That's not how that works.
Christmas, selling the stuff we no longer want.
To charity.
To charity.
Which that's not how that works.
No.
Imagine being that asshole who comes to the charity. Here's a tree for $40.
I have a mini tree.
No.
No. Get out of here.
This isn't from the same episode, but it's very funny. Where it's like from a later episode where he wanted to be Santa for a party, but they made this one girl character to Santa, but he was upset, so he decided to still be Santa. So the one overweight character in the office, Kevin, sits on his lap asking him what he wants for Christmas. That scene is synonymous in the show because literally the whole cast almost couldn't do that scene properly without laughing.
Really?
Because like the entire time, like Steve Carell's like trying to do this scene as Michael, but he kept laughing while he was on his lap. Even the other guy who was sitting on his lap couldn't stop laughing at how stupid it was. At some point, he has to get up. He's like, Santa's leg is asleep. He's like banging at the table, and everyone starts laughing still. Literally, you can see in the background one of the actors is trying to act, but you can see her still smiling because she can't contain herself. One of the actors who plays a character named Andy, he couldn't contain himself from laughing. He had to walk off set while they were doing the scene because he literally couldn't keep himself from laughing.
Amazing.
Alright, I'm gonna end it off now. We've been going on for a while now.
Yep, this is our last one.
Yeah, so this one is truly, and you'll be able to talk about this one as well because you've seen it. This is truly the best Christmas trilogy of all time. It's better than all the rest. What do you think it is?
Die Hard.
Nope.
Iron Man!
No. It is the Santa Claus trilogy from Eddsworld. I decided I'm going to talk about that one, too.
Oh my god! I completely forgot about that! Santa Claus, dude!
Yeah, if no one knows what Eddsworld is, it's pretty popular, so maybe some of you might know it.
You're committing a crime by not knowing about Eddsworld.
Yeah, it's an animated web show on YouTube. It's very funny. It's kind of got, I gotta admit, from probably rewatching Phineas and Ferb a lot, it's similar humor to that show, actually.
Yeah, you think? Yeah.
Like, they have a lot of, like, the very point-out humor, like, oh, this.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because one point, Tom in the first Santa Claus has a scene where he's like, hey, he stopped at that house. Hey, I say the obvious. Ooh, look at chair.
Ooh, look at chair.
But essentially, the Santa Claus trilogy of episodes is that basically there's this zombie-vibe version of Santa Claus called Santa Claus. And he's, of course, wreaking havoc 3 times in a row each year. So the first one is basically where a simple one, he comes to kids' houses and eats them. And his friends think they're going to be fine, but they're not.
Never. They're never fine. They're the main characters.
Yeah. And then Santa Claus comes in and saves them, of course, because they were naughty kids still.
What?
Well, because Matt stepped on Bugs, who was now considered a murderer. Tord went to paintballing with real guns.
God.
Tom ate a pie that he shouldn't have eaten. And Ed didn't thank his milkman for his Christmas card, which then you see the milkman about to drop off a ledge.
Are you serious?
You don't remember this?
I don't remember that at all. It's been so many years.
And my favorite joke in the whole episode, like one of my favorite bits of Tom, is like at one point when Zach catches up them on a Coca truck, he's like, "Did you really think?" Gets hit in the face by a tree. He's like, "Did you really?" Gets hit in the face again. He's like, and then he sits back up again. He's like, "Did you really think you could escape me?" And then finally Santa comes in and saves them, and Tom's like, "Oh no, holy crack!" Gets hit in the face. And he's like, "Holy crack!" Gets hit in the face again. And then he's like, "Holy!" Ducks from the tree, and he stands back up, looks straight forward, and goes, "Ha!" Gets in the face again.
God, this show is so funny, man.
And then so that was that one, and they defeat Santa. Second one, I think, is the least of the 3. It's still funny because like Santa kidnaps Santa, they have to go save him and stuff. The funny joke in the episode, I think, to me is like when they decide how are we gonna get to the North Pole by car? With the Z gear, of course. They kick it up and it just starts flying the car, and it's like you see, and then Tom is like this in the car dancing, and Tom Matt in the back's like, wait a minute, how did that car fly? And then it just falls and drops on top of a plane, and they're like, all right, we're experiencing technical difficulties here. Like, wait, you realize how a plane could fly? And it's like, and then by the time they get to the North Pole, like, there's like 6 planes and the car. It's all crashed on top of each other.
Oh my god. How did I not remember this stuff? Gee, I need to rewatch those.
Yeah, and then there's the final one, Santa Claus 3, which was the big final one of it, which is the best one, I think, where Tom's still sick of the character Tom hates Christmas. I don't think I mentioned that.
That's the on-running joke.
Yeah, so finally at some point, him and Santa said, we should team up, Tom, but then he's like, nope, kicks him out of his own sleigh and takes it over, and then like he starts wreaking havoc over Christmas, and Matt think, you're behind this, aren't you? And I'm like, look, I'm clearly not behind this, and they start looking like, I'm standing right here, and then he points to Mayhem. And they go, oh, it's Tom, great. And they think, maybe Santa will come and stay the day again. So he shoots down Santa and he comes to their house like, sup, guys? Sup?
Sup, guys? Sup?
And they whip out a giant robot and they have a big song number where Tom's singing about how he's evil and hates Christmas.
Oh my god.
And finally, someone in their giant robot, they shoot Santa Claus out to attack Tom.
Santa missile.
And like they're attacking their guitars, they're just like shredding the guitar, both of them. And finally Matt's like, hey, everyone, aren't they both bad guys? And Santa's like, shoot the suckers.
Shoot him.
And then it ends and then Santa's like, yeah, maybe I'll just go back in retirement now. That's enough of all this.
Oh my god.
And also the best joke for me in the third one is also Matt covers their Christmas tree in tinsel and he's like, Matt, are you sure that's safe? Like, don't worry, it's fireproof. And then a log comes in, fire, and it goes underneath a tree. Doesn't burn the tinsel, but burns the tree still.
The tinsel's perfectly fine. Oh my god. The second thing I'm gonna do when I get home, I'm gonna watch the entire trilogy. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's about it. We ramble along.
Yeah.
Mostly me, so.
I mean, hey, I think it was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's probably our longest one.
You think? Yeah. How long? I think our Endgame one would be the longest, wouldn't it?
That was an hour and 6 minutes. This is hour and 22 minutes.
Oh, hour 22. Hey, bada boom.
I thought it was
Merry Christmas.
I thought it was like maybe an hour and 30 at least.
Well, I mean, hey. We accomplished a lot, and we had a funny little tangent at the beginning
Yeah.
that I'm sure will be animated.
Yeah, we'll get, I don't know, get like who animates Game Grumps things or...
Yeah, dude, we'll get other famous animator out there.
Yeah, I'll get someone to do it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's all our Christmas specials we have to talk about. I mean, there's a lot more we could have talked about, but I didn't want to make it too long.
Yeah,
As long as it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's, like, I want to talk about an episode of The Flash that was Christmas episode, but it would have gone too long.
True. Well, sorry I only had 3 on my list, but I feel like you made up for it.
Yeah, I made up for it with the insanity of mine.
The absolute mental capacity capable of understanding this Christmas fiesta.
Yeah, plus I rewatched all these like in 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember I told you.
Dude, yeah, you did.
So I had to binge all these like on Friday I watched the Batman, Spider-Man, and Simpsons one, but then Saturday like everything else. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
And it was not smart. I left the Doctor Who one to the very end of the day. I'm like, is this 45 minutes? And I looked at the timeline. It says hour long. I'm like, why did I wait till 12 o'clock in the morning to watch this?
This is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
that's basically it.
Bada boom. I enjoyed myself. How about you, Brennan?
I very much enjoyed myself. We think I had a couple of laughs.
Yeah, and we hope you enjoyed yourself too.
Yeah. Tell me in the comments down below if you guys watch any of these Christmas specials, if you enjoy them, or you don't like any of these.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even celebrate them. Maybe you celebrate.
Hanukkah.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Kwanzaa.
I literally forgot the word Hanukkah for a second.
You want to know? Fun fact. I'm sorry. We're going down this suit. I just really want to say this. I had originally on my list the Rugrats Hanukkah special. Until, like, he said, like, only pick geek stuff. I was like, okay, well, we're removing Rugrats.
Well, you could have said that. I said Phineas and Ferb. You could have said Rugrats.
I was absolutely going to go into extreme detail about the Rugrats Hanukkah special. Maybe it's for the best that we did, though.
We can make a tangent if you want.
Yeah, it's fine,
No, you're doing it now.
Okay, well, fine. Well, anyway, basically, it starts off with Tommy Pickles. His, I believe his his mother's side is Jewish. So, it's this entire thing. They're gonna go to this Jewish little, little, not festival, but like this get-together.
Right.
And his grandfather's really Jewish, and it's just a bunch of stories. And I don't know why, but this has lived with me for the rest of my life since the first time I've watched it. There's Tommy Pickles' grandpa and a second Jewish old man, and they hate each other. For the reasons being like... the reasons being like, oh, one is like a rich businessman, and yada yada yada. Any hoomst. Basically, they go through like the story of Hanukkah, and the old men start arguing using Jewish words, which I love for some reason. So it's like... it's like the old man's complaining, I'm up to my knees in Kindle with all this. And like the other, like the grandpa's like, well, joke's on you, even though I don't have money, at least I can pass down my stuff to my children, and my children's children, and my children's children's children's. And the old man's like, hey, stop putting in my face that you have children. Like, what? And then they become friends. And then they sing the Jewish songs like, badam, badi, bidi, bidi, bum, bum. I like the Jewish faith.
I watched it for the first time of you that one time in that religion class. Remember?
That was... Yes, you did! And you kept looking at me like, how do you know the lines to this?
I think everyone in the class was looking at you like, they were like, how do you remember all this exactly?
Wasn't the teacher also like...
I think so.
I think the teacher was impressed too. Like, I love this. I watch this every year.
Him or you?
No, I said that. I said that.
That class, we always watched the best things in that class. We watched Sort of Darkful one time.
Yes, we did.
We actually watched an episode of The Simpsons one time.
Yes, we also watched the worst movie in history.
Talladega Nights.
We did?
What were you thinking?
8 Crazy Nights.
Oh my god. I'm like so...
I want to slap you right now.
No, I like Talladega Nights. My brain's broken.
I was about to say, like, Talladega Nights is pretty funny, actually, but I don't remember us watching it.
I don't know, something that said Talladega Nights, 8 Crazy Nights.
I understand. 8 Crazy Nights is absolutely horrendous. Don't watch it. Adam Sandler, I want my money back, and I didn't even pay for it.
We also watched Brother Bear, which was fine.
We did. Brother Bear is actually pretty good.
Which starred Joaquin Phoenix.
It did?
Yeah, no, he was the main bear.
I didn't know that. So you're dude, I want to imagine the bear wearing, like, Joker makeup now. It's like he texts his little brother, like, we live in a society, little bear.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw him in a movie.
Really?
And when I told James and his brother that one time, they were like, interesting first choice, but okay.
Interesting perspective.
Like, there's a lot of other good movies he's done, but okay. Brother Bear.
Brother Bear.
Good one.
Anyway, that was a weird little side tangent.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. I'll probably
Yeah, sure. I don't remember much about the holiday special, but it's lived with me for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not even Jewish.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough for now. We've talked long enough.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm thinking of watching, like I said, if you tell me if you guys watched any of these when you were young or still do, if you never seen these before, or you maybe don't even celebrate Christmas, maybe you do watch that one every year instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe you watch Eight Crazy Nights.
I'm going to kill you. And hey, tell us...
I bet you people who do celebrate Hanukkah are forced to watch it. This is our only movie.
This is the only one.
We are kind of I'm not. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Like, is there any?
We're not Jewish. We don't know.
But I don't know many films that are like Hanukkah based. So like, unfortunately, that's like
exactly.
Unfortunately, probably be like, this is our only thing. We are forced to. We have
to support.
We understand there's a deer with 3 boobs that shit farts itself at some point.
And then there's what's his name? The short guy with like the stubby nose.
Oh, you mean Adam Sandler's little friend? It's a technical foul. Jesus.
The constitution of this judgmental decision is not kosher.
And Martin Scorsese says the superhero films are not cinema.
No.
But he's never probably seen that then.
Well, yes, very true, very true. Anyway, also tell us in the comments any that we didn't name that you're a fan of.
Yeah, probably something else out there, like Shrek. Probably didn't talk about that one.
The
a lot of people out there.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us, and we may watch it ourselves one day.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, in our own time, not on the channel.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a happy holiday, everybody.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
Happy Hanukkah.
And goodbye. Alright, now what?
Want to play Smash Brothers?
Sure.
Hell yeah. Let's leave that in the video. Just kidding.
I'm gonna deck the halls merry jolly on.
I'm gonna deck my balls all over.
I have no segue out of that, what I just said there.
Bye, everybody.